we're gonna do this again, apparently. I don't know. Because I don't want to do the same thing. So hopefully this doesn't. I don't think it is. Hopefully that you can hear me though. And because I have no audience, there's no one to tell me if they can or not. But hey, I had a much different live plan for my, well, not my first live, but I was in the middle of my OBS and everything. And I just can no longer not say something or not give it another way of looking at it. And once again, there's something, a topic that I just feel there's a side not being looked at. Now, if you are not aware of the Quinton Simon, the 20-month-old that was supposedly thrown in a dumpster and then into a landfill in Chatham County, Georgia, which is Savannah, then you won't know what I'm talking about. So, just saying. Um, I come from the true crime sector of YouTube. However, like it's not really my thing. Um, so I've refound myself somewhere else. Anyways, so I was fired up when I did this the first time. So hopefully you can hear me. Yeah, I might be right. I hate this, but I didn't buy it. So, um, my thing is they got protesters outside, right? And it's getting very heated. It's surpassing the laundry case when they were outside and shit. I mean, I only see it getting worse as more people are coming, like Dolly Vision coming back, and Bullhorn hasn't left, and she's strongly encouraging uh, other people to come. And if they have problems, financial woes, getting a hotel, she's even offering to help with that. Like, even my mom was watching, and my mom was like, hey, I'd go if I had the money. Um, so I don't find, and I was not a big, fan. But honestly, I got to give it up to her. I don't know how she does it out there yelling at people. She don't even got her bullhorn. But you have that right there. Very severe, like, get this bitch kind of attitude. Okay. And then you have people on YouTube that have int- infiltrated the family and have a line, a direct line to the family. So they can get pictures, they can find out all kind, things. It's already been said and stated, okay, that on a live, okay, that there is information that said creator cannot share with you, but it would be, it means a lot. It would explain a lot and maybe take some of your anger away. But she can't tell you. Understandable. Understandable. Okay. And no matter whether we know that information or can fathom what any of that could be, she's right. There's two, there's another side. There's some stuff in the media that really had just been per the cops. It hasn't been per Leilani. She also has said that, hey, I will give this person, this YouTube creator, my story when I am able to, when I'm not, locked down by the FBI. And they're saying, oh, her story matters. Well, she hasn't put her story out yet. So her story ceased to matters. It doesn't. Okay. And in all this talking about this against this against this, I haven't really heard that much about what the we're here for. Like, there's a baby gone. And like, being from the true crime community, like, that's all that matters. Okay? Tiffany Marie has been stuck to Summer Wells almost 2 years. Okay? If this had been that child, all kinds of shit would be done differently. I watched, I was there from the very first day of King Summer Wells. And this is completely backwards what certain creators did. Like, there's still creators out there thinking they might find her alive somewhere. But yet, a couple days in, this little boy was dead, and we don't even got a body. And his mother did it. That was the other thing. And she's free. So, yeah, that's why you have such a phenomenal outpour right now. Like, this is worse than Casey Anthony, and that was pretty fucking bad. And that was really where I grew up. So I never thought I'd see something. This, So I'm with that other YouTube creator. Like, I'm hoping to hear some great shit like this. But anything less than this baby being alive is bullshit. Every little picture that you want to get sent, and then put up, like, oh, look at the bad protesters, but yet you see a picture of her and it don't look like doesn't, let alone somebody that killed her baby. Let's take that away. Let's take that away. Here's Leilani, okay? Got her kids, whatever, documented abuse. But whatever. Take away the abuse. Okay? Take that away. Take away any landfill dump talk. Let's just say, like Summer Wells, he just poof in thin air. Not your fault. No one's looking at you. Nothing. I'm sorry. If you caught me in a photo, I'm in the background or something, I'm not gonna have a smile on my face. Shit. When my fucking dad died, I came home and just paced a concrete basement for 48 hours. Just didn't even know what the fuck to say. And when they told me less than 12 hours after he was born, and they came over to me and were like, hey, I don't think he's going to make it. And here's a piece of paper so you can sign for him to go to Johns Hopkins and get this. It's the only hospital that has this machine. And mind you, Johns Hopkins was in driving distance, so he didn't have to be airlifted. Okay, it was around the corner. I'm from Baltimore. They told me they didn't think it was going to be worth it. And then I didn't get to hold my baby until he was 2.5 months old. And every day until he was 6 months old was still touch and go. Still. During that period of time, I know that other people can speak for me that there was no much out of me. There was no makeup. There was no hair done. I was gone. Okay. And the only thing that made me come out of it was the day I got to bring my baby home. when he was almost 6 months old. He is now a pain in my butt, 12-year-old, okay? But I just, I had never known such sadness. And that's just the baby that just, boom, came out. This is your baby that you know and does little things. Like I was listening to Cher's live, and they gave the brother, she gave the brother something to say about him, and how she remembered him and stuff. And I'm sure it choked up everybody listening. And it meant the world to me because I was like, well, for the first time, we're hearing about what matters. That little boy is what matters. And, I'm not scorning other creators for what they do or whatever. But if you're going to be so bullheaded to push one narrative and to say, oh, this is how it has to be, either you got to be this or you're vile and you're an idiot. No, I'm smart enough and have an IQ enough, well enough to see all the different sides of this story and to accept what I do not know. Okay? What I do not know. I go on what I can see and what is fact. And that picture, that I don't know if that was supposed to be helpful or what that was supposed to be, of her sweeping, once again, doesn't look like a mournful mother. And I don't care if you did it or you didn't. Either way, you would think that, no, no, does someone, do you cry all day? And, after a while, like I had to pick myself up and I had to start, you know what I mean? I still didn't do the makeup and the shit, but I had to get up. I had another child. So I get that. Okay? I understand that. I understand you're not going to be just crying your life away. I get it. Okay? You have to become, human. But, out doing shots and out doing this and I'm just saying, just like everybody wanted to run their mouth on Summer Wells and what you couldn't think, I can't believe Candace did that and I can't believe Don did that. But now you're looking at this like, yep, this is cool. Like, it's just hypocritical. I find it like, like it's staggering how hypocritical it is. It's like, if you're gonna say some crazy ass shit or something, then say, hey, that's what I believe. I know, hey, it might sound a little janky, you know. And then people that have opinions against yours, don't be like, nope, don't want to hear you. Bye. The fuck? Bye. But whatever, whatever you got to do to raise your dividends, I guess. I don't know. I know I'm not motherfucking Connie Chung, okay? I know that protesters in this situation is dangerous. And I'm pretty sure if somebody doesn't, if there's some great shit that hasn't been said that would make everything better, then that shit would have been outroed. And if not, it needs to be to some degree because it is getting wild out there. It is. And I'm not saying that it's right at all, because you have to look at the other side of the coin. What if she didn't? What if she didn't do it? Then it turns that family into mourners, not criminals or accessories? And how would you feel if you were mourning, especially an untimely death? That's why a child is so rough, because it's something untimely. It's not natural. It's not dying from natural causes at 85. Um, it's not, you know. So, I mean, even my son, if he had passed away at some point, like I had known he, I knew he was sick. I knew he didn't have a fucking lung, but, or that it had collapsed. Um, but it's pretty fucked up to disrupt mourners' lives like that. Talk about the worst thing. But they're not coming out. They're not saying that. Um, all that you hear is the dump, the landfill, and I'm gonna look it up after I do this. This was very spontaneous to see, because her brother said, I just heard that live, where he said that idea of the landfill and stuff and the presumed deceased was per the police, not per Leilani. And I just kind of want to gauge down exactly where that came from and when exactly it came from. Because even I, up until hearing that, was under the impression that she had stated this whole thing. Um, and I think a lot of people are under the same impression. So, but see, I'm going to do the smart thing and look it up, you know? And I knew either way, I'm not going to be gung ho to, implode her house, Well, not implode, but, you know, whatever. And I'm not going to say, hey, you know, oh, you don't like her? Oh, you're wishing bad towards her? Oh, you're crazy too. Fuck that. Like, it's not right. And nobody's talking about the main reason. It's like, we'll talk about it being like somebody called the other channel a clout chaser. Meanwhile, that creator's calling the protesting YouTubers clout chasers and money makers. It's like, come on now. Like, I don't feel like you're at, I'm just going to be honest. I don't feel like you're about this child at all. You go to your channel, everybody's laughing. Like, it's a good old time. It's not like it was when we lost Summer Wells and it was solemn and people were, it was a very depressive thing. Every day was like another grueling, depressing day of trying to get more answers. This is just like, hey, I texted somebody, look at this picture, and then calling the rest of the world uh, crazy and idiots because they don't see and believe what you do. Now, I can see looking at two sides of a coin. That's where my introspective comes from the whole thing. Like, yeah, you're right. There's probably more information, and maybe the police are doing their job, and you just need to sit down and wait. Possibly check. Okay, protesters out there, like, I could get arrested right now jaywalking, but she's there. Well, we don't know all that story. Okay, so I get it. But what I don't get, and I'm sorry, I'll say it again. You look at her face. I'm sorry, if my kid was at the fucking babysitter longer than 6 hours, my ass would be looking like, where's my baby? So you got one that's just gone and cops are saying is deceased. I'm not saying that this woman laid a finger on her child, but what I am saying is she doesn't look like one that lost one. Period. That's what I have to say about it. That's it. That's where I don't do the whole judgment calls, whatever. I'm not Christ, and neither are you. But the issue, I don't know all the protesters or whatever, but I know a lot of mothers are looking at her like, do you miss your baby? Do you miss them? While you're, like, I'm sorry. And no, as I stated earlier, we're not supposed to see her crying 24/7 every, you know what I mean? Doesn't mean that she's not, but we all know the things that if you paid attention to this case, then you've seen the things that, like, going out partying on the town and all that isn't the greatest idea. Like, it really shows that the possibility, it makes it more possible in one's head. Looking at that, it makes it more possible in one's head that she killed her child because of how she looks. Just like when everybody here was running around talking about Summer Wells and how Candace, she didn't do the right thing that a person losing their child would have done. And if it had been kidnapped, all y'all talked about was how much the parents weren't on the up and up. But now these motherfuckers are looking grimy as hell, and you're just hitching your wheels to them. Go ahead. Go ahead. But don't call the rest of the world idiots because they don't agree. Because it's two sides, three sides, whatever, to every story. But as a mother, a bunch of other mothers, like, that bitch don't look like one. And that's all there is to it. And you don't have to like me, and so can get in their fucking feelings too. I'm over it. I'm over listening to just BS. And I was a part of a case where, to this day, that child is talked about. To this day. To this day, people are hoping she's still alive. To this day, people are still trying to figure out where Summer Wells might be. And what are we, 2 weeks into this? Almost three or something? And he's already been called dead without a body. All the, like, yeah, yeah. And nobody's supposed to be like, what the fuck? And you've already sat over there on your YouTube high horse talking about, I can't tell anybody what I know that would explain this. So you yourself are admitting that there is some interesting information that, understandably so, that you cannot divulge. But then you're telling everybody else that they're supposed to understand something that is not understandable at this current point. At this current point in time, they have scraps, and it's a baby. And coming from the true crime, mainly missing children sector, you know how people get enraged about babies. Like, to sit around and act like, oh, this is okay. Y'all should know. You should know better. And I feel bad because there's not gonna, I don't know if, like, your branding or whatever, branding. But it's just, the focus should be on him. And because when you think of him, you have to think of a landfill, and you have to, and those people outside. Somebody the other day said something. I think Benny and Tiffany and Marie were doing a live, and Tiffany, I think it was Tiffany that said somebody. I want to say it wasn't Tiffany, but either way, the point was that Summer Wells was like, in her real life, she had nobody, so she had nobody to fight for her, you know, and that's what our community was. Our community was what Summer had, and was who and what Summer was going to fight for Summer. So here we go. I mean, I don't I don't get it. Like, it's the topic of protecting these people has become more important than getting justice for the child and just getting his remains. I'm not talking about like, oh, justice, let's kick some ass. No. I mean like finding him, you know? Like, because not only was he is he deceased, but he was thrown in a motherfucking dumpster and then a landfill, allegedly. I swear, you're gonna kill your baby, or something happens. Say it's an accident. Say it's an accident. He drowns, and you're gonna go for whatever reason. I don't. I've never understood why people wouldn't call 911 or just go to the hospital. But I don't know why they decide, do crazy stuff. But say that's the case, and you like, I could never throw my baby in a fucking dumpster. I mean, I couldn't do this shit at all, anyways. But I wouldn't. That's even worse. You threw him out like trash. And now I'm on my YouTube listening to somebody tell me I should give a fuck about her. Mm-mm. Give me some reasons why. Okay? Give me some reasons why. Because for right now, not even her face is showing me not guilty. The best thing that she could do at this current point in time, if it falls on her, is to help them find that baby's body or start giving up the truth as to what the fuck happened. Like, and hey, if don't pretend to mourn your child. If you're not upset, don't act upset. And that's clearly, I couldn't fucking imagine. Oh my god. You want to take a picture of me and me be sweeping like it's a regular day. It's not a fucking regular day. Your kid's gone. Like, and it's easy for people that it's not them to sit on a phone or on a panel or whatever the you want to do and be like, oh, don't judge them. And they're being so forthright. And one day she'll tell her story. Fuck her story. I got mental illnesses a load. And let me tell you something, they will never be responsible for me causing any pain to any of my children. Ever. Now that is just offensive. It's offensive to people with mental disorders to try and make somebody believe that this bitch done killed her baby because she cuckoo. I'm sorry. Like, I'm not even going to be nice about it. And I'm sure ain't going to be people that like what I have to say. They'll want some other reason, want it to be, I'm just, oh, go protest, which I support the protesters, whatever. Don't kill nobody. And I support the idea that, hey, you don't know what you don't know. Okay. So my opinion is based on every time I see her face. You know, what happened with Summer Wells when everybody was like, you don't see them out there crying or begging or making pleas. We ain't seen that. Have we seen that? No. So you keep living on motherfucking Hypocrite Road because I know exactly where I stand. And, you know, it's not with either party, I guess. But I understand. But there's just too many hypocrites running wild.